Hello everyone, welcome to our video Tech Talk, where we will give you a guide of how to find a right laptop for yourself. Whether you are a professional, a student, or a core gamer, picking a right laptop for you is quite confusing because of the several specs out there in the market. So, I'm your host Atul Raj from BCA second semester, and here with me is Sparsh.
Hello everyone.
So Sparsh, let's start the video. Uh, First of all, we will talk about the main component of the laptop, which is CPU. It is quite confusing because there are many generation of CPUs and different brand like Intel and AMD. So can you
Yeah,
please explain it?
yeah. There are Intel, AMD, then there are M1, M2 like Max chips. We will keep it aside. In this video, we will talk about Intel. So the first, there is i3, i5, i6, i7, and then i9. The unwritten rule of CPUs are the higher the number, the better the processor, or the better the performance. Okay, so if you have i3, it would be an entry level laptop, or it would work an entry level job. Then there is i5, it would work or perform better than i3. Then there is i7, it would perform better than i5. And there is then i9, the greatest, obviously. Then after i3, i5, there are generations like i5 12th generation, i5 13th generation. Currently it is going with i5 14th generation. 2024 is going with the 14th generation. The previous 2023 year was on 13th generation. So each and every year a new generation launches of the CPU. The next year it will launch a 15th generation, i5 15th generation, i7 15th generation. So that's what the number 12, 13, 14, 15 denotes. Okay, then after that there is a three number column, four, which is written like 500, 650, 700.
Even 450.
Yeah, 450 or 420. They
Yeah.
are coming new day by day. Maybe there is one launched I don't know about, because they are launching rapidly. So there is, for first of all, I guess, 420h, or 420. uh, then there is 450h, then there is 500, then there is 650, then there is 700. The same unwritten rule goes that higher the number, the better the performance, which will provide you a better performance and a better overall work on the basis of you choose to buy the laptop. Then in the last, there comes the alphabets, which are U, P, H, HX. These are the alphabets which donates the power of the laptop. They are the real game changer you should look for example, take a U. U में होता क्या है कि U सबसे लो powered laptops के लिए यूज होता है. Like if you want to watch content, or if you want to watch PowerPoint or do Excel sheets, then you have to watch for U. If you want to do a little bit more of that than that, then you can go for P. It's a little more powerful than U. Then there is H, which is used for graphical oriented works, or gaming, you can say. Then there is HX. The HX are the desktop replacement. They are on par with the computers out there, which are performing on like a very high energy source or electricity. They provide the almost the same amount of performance and scores. That's all. And if you are asking for AMD, AMD comes with the same line. There is just one HS processor between H and HX, which helps in which is used in slim laptops. Slim, but the performance isn't a downgrade. They both perform well. That's all.
Okay. So it is quite confusing. Like
Yeah,
there are
it is quite confusing.
lots of
Yeah.
version of the same processor. Like you told that Intel 12th generation has a HX, H and U,
Mm.
and after in that also there is different number 250 or
Yeah.
450.
Yeah.
So I think अब सबको क्लियर हुआ होगा कि
Yeah.
उनके नीड के हिसाब से उनको कौन सा लैपटॉप कौन सा प्रोसेसर के लिए जाना चाहिए.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next part of the laptop, which is GPU.
Yeah.
Like there are many GPUs launching. The main brand which is for GPU is Nvidia,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So please, can you explain some type of GPU uh, and the performance based on that?
So the first of all, there are two types of GPUs: dedicated and integrated. Integrated GPUs are which comes in slim laptops, which is used for students and professionals. They have not a dedicated GPU. They are integrated GPU which comes with the Intel processor like Intel Arc GPU or Intel Iris Xe. They are the dedicated. They are not powerful enough, but they do work quite well. But they don't have the power to do the bigger tasks like graphic oriented work or architecture or 3D modelings, etc. They don't. They aren't capable of that much. There comes then the dedicated GPUs. The dedicated GPU line start from 1650 GTA 1650, but it's an old GPU now, so we won't consider it. You shouldn't buy a GTA 6050. At least you should start from RTX 2050. The RTX 2050 is the entry level gaming laptop or the gaming GPU, or you can say work oriented GPU. You can start from RTX 2050, then RTX 3050, 3060, then all the way up to 3090. Then there is new generation of RTX GPUs, you known as the 40
40
series.
series, yeah.
Yeah, there are 4050, 4060, and the almighty 4090. You have heard of like 24 GB VRAM, and that's just crazy. Then that's all. The higher the number, the better the processor or the better the GPU.
Also, I have a question on that. There are two laptops. The both laptop have the same GPU, but the performance in both laptop are different.
Yeah.
So, is there a catch, or it's just
No, no, no. Let me explain. It's there isn't a catch, but there is a hidden details you should always look for. Let's examine. If there are two laptops and they both have a 4050 GPU, then if you have to check its TDP. TDP means how much energy it is consuming. If it can consume the limit. Some are locked to 70 watts, some are locked to 120 watts, 110 watts. The max the 4050 can go is up to 140 watts. If it can push its limitation up to 140 watts, it will always provide the best, obviously.
it will be more powerful?
Yeah, it will be more powerful. If it gets more power, it will provide more inputs and it will provide a better performance. If it's locked to 70 watt, it will not perform that well, obviously, and it won't score in better in benchmarks or etc. So that's the difference between same laptop but different performance. A 4050 with 70 watt won't perform as well as a 4050 with 140 watt or 110 watt.
So, like we can say now that brands do these things cross cut for the cross cutting,
Yeah.
for putting the price of the laptop down as
Mm.
compared to the others. From the general perspective, like people will see that both have 50 40 50 GPU. Let's go for the cheaper one. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah, it's like it's not a market gimmick, but you have to look for it. If 4050 has 70 watt TDP, then it must be a slim laptop. If it has 140 watt, it can't make slim. That's not possible hardwarely. So that's all.
okay. So let's move to the storage part.
Mhm.
Where comes the SSD and RAM. They are different generation of RAM, and there are different type of SSD. So please,
Yeah.
can you explain that?
It is one of the main crucial parts of the laptops which are oftenly ignored. Where people think, yeah, if you have a good GPU and if you have a good CPU, then you are all good and good to go. But that's not the case. If you want to transfer a 15 or 20 GB file, and it is taking 3 hours or 4 hours, so what's the gain? What's the profit? If you have a good laptop with good GPU and CPU, it won't be that much of a use if you can't transfer file. So that's why where storage comes in the part. The RAM should be at least you can look for DDR4 or DDR5 in this generation. The DDR4 is based on the speeds on 3200 to 5000, and the DDR5 starts from 5000 to 7000 megahertz to be exact. They provide the faster speed. The better the number, the better the performance as well. In this case scenario too, they give a better performance in every aspect, like using your laptop, playing games, doing graphical work, etc. In the storage, there are Gen 3 SSDs, HDDs, and SATA SSDs. But you should at least go for an SSD in this generation, at least because it's quite cheap now. The Gen 3 and Gen 4 are quite cheap. You can buy them around 50 or 60,000 too, if you have the budget. Gen 3 SSDs are generally slow. you should look for Gen 4 at least. Gen 4 SSDs are fast and fast enough to compete in this generation right now. Then the Gen 5 SSD, which is the very fast SSD, basically its read and write speed reaches up to around 14,000 Mbps. It can transfer files from around 7,000 to 14,000 Mbps, which is crazy and super fast.
Yeah. So I think that's a clear point of view in respect to storage. Let's move to the another part of the component of a laptop. Like many people wants a laptop to watch certain content, like say multimedia. So uh, they want a good display. So can you explain like which laptops comes with a good display, like which we should go for?
Yeah, and definitely. The catch is there is you should always look for a OLED panel. Obviously, if you want to like watch good colors and good multimedia experience, you need a good color gamut or a good sRGB, which has 100% color gamut or 100% sRGB, which will probably show you the true colors of a laptop. If you the red, if you have a product or image you edited on your laptop and it has 45% sRGB, when you will look it from a 100% sRGB display, the red will look faded. The red won't look that red. Okay, that's the catch here. If you are looking for a good display, you should go for OLED panels. They are always 100% sRGB. If you are looking for a gaming laptop and there is a catch, they have lower sRGB, because you don't need sRGB that much while you are gaming or while you are doing other works. They focus more on FPS and hertz. The more the hertz, the better the performance in the esports and sector. So that's the catch here, and that's all. If you want a good display, then go for 100% sRGB. Check in the descriptions of the laptops if the display is 100% sRGB and P3 as well. That's all.
So we can say that OLED display show more punchy colors.
uh, More punchy and more true colors.
Okay, let's move to our the last component, which is battery. Like, can you explain like how much a laptop should be enough to run a multitasking or
Around days, okay,
uses for particular uses for
यस यस यस
users?
आई कैन डू लाइक बैटरी का क्या सीन है ना कि अगर बैटरी इज़ वेरी सब्जेक्टिव और टू बी ऑनेस्ट इट रियली डिपेंड्स ऑन द जीपीयू एंड सीपीयू यू आर यूजिंग. इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग अ स्लिम लैपटॉप, अगर आपके पास एक पतला लैपटॉप है जिसमें सिर्फ सीपीयू है, तो उसमें आपको बैटरी का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अगर एक बैटरी की सर्टेन होती है, लाइक 50 वॉट बैटरी इज़ गुड इनफ to start with. 50 watt, if you have a slim laptop in 50-watt batteries, then it's good to go. But if you have 50-watt battery in a gaming laptops, that's not good at all. It won't last even 2 hours without the plug-in chargers and etc. So that's what's the case. If you have Intel Evo certified CPUs, uh,
Yeah.
Intel Evo certified, they guarantee you at least 8 or 9 hours of battery backup. You must have seen the Intel Evo's features. They guarantee you a 9 hour battery backup because they are very power efficient, right? But in the gaming laptops, that's not the case, because there is a dedicated GPU, right? The dedicated GPU takes a lot of battery to run and to work very well. So that's why the battery on the gaming laptop doesn't go that well and doesn't run that well and doesn't last long. That's why you must have heard the gamers hearing that they carry their charger all the way
Yeah.
and everywhere.
Also, the weight of of a gaming laptop is much
Hmm.
higher than the
Yeah,
normal.
that's because there are more components than the slim laptop. There is a dedicated GPU. There is a build quality stuff, military grade certified laptops. That's why the reason there is more battery. Like 90-watt batteries are still not good enough in a gaming laptop. It only gives 4 hours of backup if you're not plugged in. So that's the
Thank you, Sparsh. I think it's pretty clear now. This will give everyone a clear
yeah.
picture about to find a right laptop for themselves. So, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed and have some doubts, so ask in the comments and also like the video.
Thank you.